So if you saw my previous YouTube video, you know I'm pretty new to this whole content creation game and I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to get better at editing and putting out videos on a more consistent basis. So you can probably tell by the background footage what game is next, but until that review is ready, I decided I wanted to take a quick look at a game I've played before and was recently released as a demo on Steam Next Fest. This is Teamfight Manager 2, a direct sequel to its predecessor which was released in 2021. In both of these games, you take on the role of an esports team captain. You're responsible for managing your players' stats, their training, and your ultimate goal is to progress through the league and try and win the championship. Personally, I really enjoyed the first game, and they struck on a really brilliant idea. The game would mimic live service games in that it would have continuous patches in which characters would get buffs, nerfs as the game went on, which managed to keep the drafting aspect really fresh. The buffs and nerfs were unique to your gameplay, so you always had to figure out your own meta. You couldn't look it up online. Unfortunately, they stopped development on the title pretty quickly. By August of that year, they released the last major content patch, 1.4. So now here we are 4 years later with Teamfight Manager 2. What has changed? Rather than the deathmatch arena from the first game, we now have the laning and jungles typical of the MOBA genre. I don't want to spend too much time going into the game because this is pre-early access and is likely to change considerably before it's released. Before, the developers had intended on getting early access out sometime this year, 2025, but after feedback from the demo, they decided to push it till next year. And that's kind of indicative of my thoughts on the game. Building on the foundations of the first game, I have faith that this game will end up being good, but right now, it's in a bit of a rough state. Inside the demo, all of the management aspects have been simplified, but unfortunately, the only way you can play is the tutorial. Even after you beat the tutorial, the only way you can start playing it again to try the game out is to run through the entire tutorial again. But I want to like this game, and I'm going to play it when it comes out, so I just wanted to give some feedback on the issues that I saw when I was playing through the demo again. Firstly, I feel like I don't really get to interact that much with the game. The transition to the MOBA genre have made the games longer, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Believe me, after playing Esports Godfather, this is the kind of gameplay I want, but right now, I feel a distinct lack of agency when it comes to the matches. You kind of just set your characters and hit play, and then sit back and watch it happen. You don't really get to interact in any way at all. So during the matches, your gameplay is pretty much just watching the AI do whatever they want, and right now they're not very smart. They have some very clear tendencies, and they love to overforce fights. You can see this in the laning phase, in the jungles, everywhere throughout the game. They will repeatedly tower dive the enemy, running in one at a time only to die. And then by the time they get back to lane, they're more than happy to do it again. But the thing they love to force the most by far seems to be the Baron equivalent, Morgard. In this clip, you can see both teams standing there waiting for it to spawn. Neither team is conclusively strong enough to take it, so they're going to sit there and just battle it out until everyone is dead. I promise you, the next 3 minutes of this clip are the exact same. What's worse is that right now in the game, there's no smite equivalent, so the team that starts it is at a huge disadvantage. They'll get whittled down, and then whether or not they get the buff ends up being a coin flip. Immediately after getting wiped, they run right back on spawn. This somewhat feeds into the next problem. The game is pretty snowballing. When the team gets ahead, they tend to stay ahead. My top laner got an early advantage through a winning matchup, and from there, the entire game was over within 2 minutes. This may just be an issue with the tutorial because once you get the junglers in all 3 lanes unlocked, you do get the final 2 Nexus towers, but until then, each lane only has 1 tower. So once it's dead, there's literally nothing stopping you from winning. The enemy fountain doesn't even do damage to you, so you're free to just stand there and camp them.
Blackbird, black moon, black sky, black light, black everything, black heart, black keys, black.
Another issue I noticed, ranged units don't like to take advantage of spacing. They're more than happy to just run into beefy melee units and die. They don't need to be space gliding like Rat, but they have to be better than this. Overall, I'm excited for this game, and I'm looking forward to playing it sometime next year. Hopefully it gets the extra time that it needed in development, and when it enters early access, it'll be in a better state. So for anybody that stuck around this far into the video, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate you. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe if you want. Take care. Good afternoon.